My name is Rosalind Hamilton, and I am a dialysis patient. In 2011, I lost my kidneys to being morbidly obese, as the doctor said, and severe blood pressure. I started dialysis, which was very traumatic to me. I thought my life was over. Being hooked up to a machine to stay alive 3 times a week for 4 hours is not a way that I thought a 40-year-old woman would be living. I didn't think my life would be that way. In 2011, like I said, I lost my kidneys and I started this journey. I believed in prayer, so I thought my kidneys would just kick back. They'll kick back, it'll be okay. This is not gonna happen. And after a year, and after 2 years, and then after being depressed, and after weighing almost 500 pounds, and having a doctor who told me losing the necessary weight to get a kidney transplant, because at this point it was, to stay alive, I either needed dialysis or a kidney transplant. And he basically ruled out a kidney transplant. He basically told me I was too fat to have that. So my best bet was to lose 80 pounds so I could be treated at home and do home dialysis. So he said he's been in the business over 35 years. And he basically shut me down. He snatched my dream. He said, you're gonna have to decide, this is how you're gonna live. So we can make it comfortable and you can live at home, and you just have to get used to it. And I just said, this wasn't how my story was gonna go. This wasn't for me. This is not. I just had a brand new baby at home. I'm used to being up and moving around and be called the walking dead or the living dead because you don't have organs. So I decided to take my life back. I decided this is not how I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fight. I'm going to fight. In 2014, I decided to fight for my life. That's when TeamRoz was about. I decided that I was gonna get my life back. I was depressed for all those years, stayed home, I hid. Not everyone knew about the situation. I was embarrassed, I was scared. I didn't want people to treat me different. I didn't want people to think I was a different Roz and just treat me different. I didn't want that. So I decided, instead of telling everyone I had kidney failure or I was a renal failure, I decided to tell everyone that I needed to lose weight. That was easier for me because I was fat already, so that was already a given. So let's go with that. So we went with TeamRoz, let's beat obesity, saving my life. I knew what it meant, but not everybody knew. So everyone wants to lose weight, so everyone joined in. I had a great support group. Everyone was supporting the cause. Let's lose weight, let's help her lose weight. So I started doing 5Ks. My first 5Ks was with my sisters. We went on a glow run. I think they were throwing dirt and sand at us, and that first 5K, they could walk and move very quickly. They left and did the run in about an hour. Me being very heavy with my knees rubbing and my feet rolled over, it took me 2 hours and 30 minutes. But you know what? They didn't leave me. They waited at the finish line until I came through. So as they were sitting on the hay waiting for me, because I took 2 hours, 30 minutes, and I remember at one point threatening everybody, I'm gonna beat you guys all up, let the tractor take me in. I don't wanna do this no more. But I made it. And from there, that first 5K, I did bubble runs, and I started hiking, and I started going to the gym, and then people just started helping me. People started showing up and saying, hey, can I work out with you today? Can I work out with you? Can we go walking? Can we walk? And then this wonderful thing called Fitbit came. Then I started winning these Fitbit challenges. I'm walking and walking, and then everyone started wearing Fitbit, and I'm having people add me from New York and people from Virginia that I never met just through Fitbit. And then they became on TeamRoz and became my support group. Some of those people I'd never even met. There's people in New York that talk to me every day. They email me. They don't have any idea I was on dialysis until today, because they were about the movement, about eating right, less low carb. So then, of course, with my diet, I was in ketosis and dropping weight. And then I lost the necessary weight to do dialysis at home. I decided that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to be at home doing dialysis. I didn't want my son to have to see his mother laid up for 8 or 9 hours hooked up with lines. That wasn't how I was going to do it. So I continued getting up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, traveling almost 45 minutes away from my hometown out of embarrassment, because I live in a small town and I was afraid that if I went to one of the local dialysis center, that someone that I went into high school would be there and my story would be out and I would be busted. So I did that and I lost the weight. I gradually lost 20 pounds here, 30 pounds here. But losing weight on dialysis is not easy. It's not like you lose weight every day. You know, people, I think that's why people look to me. They were like, oh my gosh, you're losing this weight, this weight. If they had any idea that I couldn't even drink a gulp, drink a Slurpee or a Pepsi or my cucumber water the way I wanted, that I actually had to drink 32 ounces that day and eat ice for the rest of the day. Miss birthday parties, baby showers, because if I went out, of course everyone's eating and drinking. I couldn't do that. I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink. If I did eat, then that means the next day I would have to scale back on something because we had to watch everything. And being that I am a basketball coach, we had basketball tournaments. So I had to pick and choose my battles. So I would have to make sure the days that I didn't have anything to do, I didn't do anything. I would go home and go to sleep, eat ice, and then save my fluid for when my son was out in tournaments. Because as you guys know, if you play basketball, you might have a 2-hour lay. So we might be in the heat. Then I would be able to drink. So after I lost all my weight and the doctor seen I was serious, he still, at 200 pounds, I was excited, and he still said, you're doing good, but your belly's still too fat. It wasn't easy, but with God's help, prayer, staying diligent and faithful and moving forward, I was able to lose the weight. So I lost the necessary weight. And when I lost 250 pounds, my doctor told the nurse immediately, get her papers submitted, get her on a list, get her on a transplant list. So I got on my transplant list in December of last year. At one point, we thought my donor was going to be my son because he's my blood type. And at that point, he was 16 years old. So we were shooting for him to be my donor. And that's why we were banking on for him to be 18. When we started the journey, the transplant center told me when he's 18 that we go ahead and get him transplanted and he could save my life. Well, 6 months ago, they denied my son. They told me he cannot give me his kidney. And so when they denied him, that devastated our whole family. Because at that point, I just knew I was going to die. Being on dialysis, people can live many, many years on dialysis. You can live on dialysis. People don't usually die from dialysis. They die from the complications. So in December when they denied Alan, and then my best friend at that time, Marie, she said, I'll get transplanted. I'll get tested. So we were going to go with her. And she got tested and she didn't match either. So at that point, I just kind of lost hope. I figured, okay, dialysis is what I'm supposed to do. And a wonderful lady, my husband's friend's wife, came to my house, and it was just meant to be. I never met her, didn't know her name. She said, I'll get tested for you. And a few weeks later, I reached out to her. She was like, I told you I'd get tested. Why you ain't called me to tell you I get tested? So I said, okay, if you're serious, here's the number. She called. And again, I wasn't too hopeful. And I remember I was at work. And she called and she said, can you talk? And I'm waiting for her to tell me she wasn't a match. So I was like, yeah, what's up, girl? She said, I'm your blood type. I said, what? She said, not only am I your blood type, I'm your genetic match. Let me tell you about God. Let me tell you about God. God didn't send her that day. You know, when you pray and you tell God, send me something, you know, he'll do it. He does it in his time, not my time. He did it. I didn't know that lady that time. Now I know her. now I know Danya. Now Danya is giving me her kidney. She didn't know me. We've been friends 6 months. We went through the final stages and then we hit a bump. And again, I know it was my faith being tested. It was my faith. They told me, you don't have chickenpox antibodies. She's had chicken pox. We're scared that if we put this kidney in you, that you're going to get chicken pox or the shingle and you're going to die. So we don't think we can give you this kidney. So again, depression set, crying, but I started praying, but God, but God. Then my doctor, my primary doctor stepped in and he said, you worked too hard. Let me see if I can do something for you. Let me see if they will talk to me. I've been treating you this long, let's come up with a game plan. So he gave me another series of injections for antibodies. But God, 6 weeks later, I had the necessary antibodies to fight it. It's been a miracle in my life. So then they said, let's move forward. Let's move forward. So we moved forward and she finished all her testing. I finished mine and I am now getting kidney transplanted on February 6th. I want to tell people who are on dialysis, keep going. Make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. Eat right. Don't give up. You know, the doctors gave me no hope, and here I am getting ready to get a new kidney. So it can happen. Don't give up. I've seen people who had congestive heart failure in dialysis who thought that they couldn't get a kidney, and then their heart healed themselves, and they got transplanted. So just keep going and have faith in God, and just keep moving forward. I just really wanted to share that with people. No matter what you're going through, cancer, dialysis, AIDS, whatever you're going through, there's still hope. We still serve a God who does deliver and performs miracles. Don't give up. We're having a fundraiser February 3rd at Diana's Dance Studio from 11 to 3. There's 3-4 different classes, snacks and food, and I need everyone's support to help me with this fight. This is a big fight. I'm ready. I just need some support, just a little bit of help until I just go back to work.